I think it's safe to say that Angry Birds Star Wars was the best and coolest crossover ever. I didn't give a crap about Star Wars, but all of a sudden this game came out, and I was sitting there watching the prequels. On paper, these two titles have almost nothing in common, but playing through the game makes you realize just how fun it's going to be. Following the story of the movies, even seeing the Jedi and the Sith point of view in the sequel, it's incredible. But my absolute favorite part is seeing each of my favorite characters as an Angry Bird. There's a lot of birdified Jedi out there, and some are combinations like Stella and Leia, and others are brand new like freaking Yoda Bird. So of course, in our long journey to rank every Angry Birds bird, we're going to look at every bird that ever existed in this franchise, including some I couldn't even find on the wiki. Exciting stuff today. I absolutely hate the weird way they combine the birds' names with the Star Wars characters' names, but at the same time it's going to be way funnier to hear me say this crap. Don't worry, I'm going to call them all by their Star Wars names after this, but first, today we'll be ranking Red Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Chuck Han Solo, Blue Squadron, Chewbacca, C-3PO, R2 Egg 2, Princess Stella Organa, Lando Calrissian, Yoda Bird, Mighty Millennium Falcon, Muftak, Nien Nunb, Jawa Bird, Gungan, Plo Koon, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Yoffar, Yellow and Red Security Officers, Captain Security Bird, Spies, Qui-Gon Jinn, Anakin Skywalker, Padme Amidala, Mace Windu, Jar Jar Wings, Jedi Younglings, Captain Panaka, Kit Fisto, Wicket the Ewok, Han Solo, Frozen and Carbonite, Ezra Bridger, Kanan Jarrus, Zeb Orrelios, Hera Syndulla, Sabine Wren, and Chopper. God, these don't even make sense. Like R2 Egg 2? Mace Windu? Jesus. Without further ado, let's find out which of these birds are the ultimate Jedi, and which ones would be better off as some dead guy. Of course, we have to start with Luke Skywalker, the Star Wars bird with the most different forms. We got Pilot Luke, Endor Luke, Jedi Luke, and most importantly, normal Luke, the normal one. He probably has the most straightforward power as well, simply swinging his lightsaber. I'm sure Red appreciates getting any kind of power, even if it's not as cool as using the Force. While they definitely nailed the look of him, his power isn't anything too exciting, and neither is he. His luscious locks aren't quite luscious enough to entice me. Nice try, Luke! Out of all the Star Wars birds, he is the most middle-of-the-road, B tier. Obi-Wan has two different forms, his young and old version. Talk about luscious locks. And while others like Anakin had completely different powers, these two shared the same one.
Let's just say that the Force is with this one.
Although he canonically dies in Episode 4, thankfully he continues to appear throughout the first game. Having the abilities to use the Force as an Angry Bird is so much fun, and launching blocks across the screen always feels awesome. Plus, I already love bombs, so they won me over a while ago. Still, he's just not S tier for me. His design is great and his power is fun, but I prefer others way more than him on this list. Don't worry buddy, you can still have a solid A tier. Well, Chuck is voiced by Tom Kenny aka SpongeBob, so already you're off to a great start. Chuck and Han Solo are pretty much the same character already, so of course they got combined here. For the first time in Angry Birds history, Chuck did not have a power tied to his speed. Well, unless you count him shooting Greedo first. He's a basic little gun boy with 3 straight shots. Lasers in this game bounce off of metal, so he's used a lot for puzzle levels. He has the most basic and boring power from the original game, other than maybe the blues. We will see Chuck again later on, so for now we'll stick Han Solo and B with Luke. Like I said, it feels like they wanted to have the blues here, but really didn't know how to have them here. They're virtually nameless characters known as the Blue Squadron, although I guess they are based on some named pilots like Wedge and Tilly's. They also get the same freaking power as always, just splitting up into 3. In a game where they could have flown an X-Wing, or each had little guns, or just threw their helmets at the pigs, or just something, instead they got the same old power. I already don't care for the blues. They got done dirty, and they're going in D tier. I mean, come on. Not only is this a more perfect mashup than Chuck and Han Solo, but it's 2 fan-favorite characters combining into the most awesome design ever. Seeing Terrence as Chewbacca, doing the Chewbacca roar, is one of the best things to come out of this crossover. If Terrence just became Chewbacca at this point in the series, I don't think anyone would have complained. I will say his power doesn't change much, his roar just pushes things as he collides with them, but it just doesn't matter. One of the easiest S tiers ever. I'm pretty sure they decided they wanted C-3PO to be just as annoying as ever. His power is to break into pieces, which on paper sounds like a better version of the blues or something, but in reality, it's the weakest, most useless crap I've ever had the displeasure of dealing with. And in the sequel, they somehow managed to make him worse, which, I mean, congratulations, I guess. Thankfully, he is relegated to bonus levels only, so you never have to deal with him ruining your chances in the main game. There's actually one level in Star Wars 2 that is super satisfying to use him in, but otherwise all of his parts just clutter into one spot, making it impossible to break any blocks. He has a silver version as well, which is so similar I refuse to rank it separately. It splits into 4 pieces rather than 6. Revolutionary, I know. The pieces are a bit heftier, so they deal more damage, which makes him better in my eyes. I'll never stop being annoyed by him though, which sucks because Amidalla's makeover here is really well done. C-3PO just looks perfect. This droid's a D tier. R2-D2, R2-Egg2, my bad, is also strictly in bonus levels. His power is a little more enjoyable than C-3PO's. He gets to lightning strike all the pigs within range of him. It is nice to guarantee a pig as long as you are near it, but he just cannot break blocks. He's a nice one to end with, finishing up with the last couple pigs, but otherwise I just get annoyed too. I gotta say, his design is fun, since it's literally R2 but with an egg for a body. According to the character encyclopedia, they look harmless but hide the egg, which contains the Force. It does what? I feel like that's a huge deal that could stop this war they keep talking about. R2, you could make Star peace! You could make Star friends! Star love! But oh no, the key to everyone's problem is in the stupid egg that hangs out with C-3PO exclusively. That's just crazy. Anyways, R2 is fine, but not great. C tier. Everybody, stop! My daily time to admire Stella in a bathing suit and Stella in a Princess Leia slave outfit is right now! Now shut up and let me admire! Man, I can't freaking wait for tomorrow so I can admire Stella in a bathing suit and Stella in the Princess Leia slave outfit again. While we wait, we might as well talk about her. Stella's had a very diverse set of powers in her appearances, and this one is no exception. She can grab anything she wants, as long as it's in her line of sight, and pull it towards her. This has a ton of uses and can be pretty strong at times. She looks great, her power is cool, she's pretty... pretty good. Anyways, A tier. And then, Chuck did blackface. Look, that's not a joke. I'm not trying to make light of anything, that's just straight up what happened. To be fair, he is a bird, so his race doesn't really matter, but I still always felt weird about the choice. Regardless, it was pretty cool to have Lando be playable here. If only Nien Nunb could have had the same treatment. His power is an evolution of Chuck's with a little spread shot action. It's virtually a better version of Chuck, which makes sense. I don't really know what power Lando would have had otherwise. He's alright. I'm more entertained by looking at this plush version more than anything. I'll say B tier. Yoda Bird. Yoda Bird. Yoda Bird! Yoda Bird! Move over, baby Yoda. It's bird time, baby! Yoda. Trust me, I contemplated doing this part in Yoda speak exclusively, but sometimes I draw the line at how cringy my videos can get. I love being cringy, but that's just on another level. Yoda Bird appears in the first game, but he's old and dying, so they didn't force him to get launched by the slingshot. In the sequel, he has a brand new power, bouncing around like crazy. This sounds awesome, but in reality it's really hard to do well with. Most levels he's in are going to take countless tries because of how random it can be. Plus, other characters like Kit Fisto have a better version of the same power, so it's hard to like this one. I do love the design though. As a kid, I always imagined he was Hal, but the beak is clearly way too small. Seems like a missed opportunity, but it is also fun to see him as its own thing. He fits right in next to Obama Bird, honestly. Hashtag Yoda's my president. Hashtag A tier. The last playable character in the first game is the mighty Millennium Falcon. You can't even be mad at this, it has Falcon in the name! Still, compared to Mighty Eagle, this is a super frustrating power-up. You are not guaranteed to kill every pig, so even using this as a last-ditch effort isn't always worth it. Thankfully, you keep the other birds to take out any remaining pigs, but that's still a pretty big deal. The lasers it shoots will destroy anything it touches, but man, those things can be so unhelpful at times. The Millennium Falcon also looks like a freaking kid's toy now. Some little toddler is sitting there sucking on the slingshot while I try to get one of the stupid lasers to hit. I really do not like it, but it isn't the worst. C tier. In preparation for this video, I scoured the internet trying to find literally every bird that appeared in Angry Birds Star Wars. While watching the cinematic trailer, I came across this guy. He's not on the wiki, and I don't know who he's supposed to be, so I made a post asking you guys. And that's how I found out you're all a bunch of Star Wars nerds! Sure, yeah, you helped me find him in my time of need, but jeez, you guys knew the name and species of this thing? Man, I could never look at my audience again. I guess I don't have to explain who this is because clearly everyone subscribed to me already knows, but I'm doing it anyways. This is Muftak. He's got 4 eyes and he's from Star Wars. He's a regular at Mos Eisley, so that's why he's in the trailer. It's funny that other than Laserbird's cameo, he is the only bird in that cantina that isn't a main character. Since we only have his design to rank him off of, I gotta say I love this guy. He looks awesome and I really wish he appeared in the game. Can't say he's S-worthy, but he made for a great story and I'm happy to have discovered him. A tier. Nien Nunb showed up in a couple cutscenes in the last chapter of the story. He's a fun co-pilot, but birdified Nien Nunb is pretty dang cursed. It's like a hairless cat made with a turkey and made this freak of nature. Sorry to all the Nien Nunb heads out there, but this is just D tier. The Jawas were sadly never playable, but you were able to slaughter them on the pork side, so that's freaking sweet. They're kind of the shy guys of the series. I just want to know what they look like under that hood. Let's be honest though, they're probably just the hatchlings from the movie. I hate you, hatchlings! Jawas are cute though. B tier. I freaking love Gungans. Sure, I've dunked on the prequels in the past, but George Lucas is a certified genius because he thought of Gungans. However, Angry Birds has pissed me off for the last time! We hardly get any funny Gungans to look at. Where are all the Gungans at, bro? Thankfully, there's a couple of Gungos to go through. One of them is Nass, who's got a lot of sass and sucks my ass, and then there's some generic Gungans you get to murder relentlessly like the Jawas. That picture of Nass actually pisses me off. That doesn't even look like him. But the regular Gungans are great. I will never forgive you for not having more Gungos, so they go and see. I know there are people out there that love Plo Koon. Don't act like you don't. But he's just weird as an Angry Bird. Well, no, he's always weird, let's be fair. But I don't want to see him like this. Muftak is cute, he's awesome. Not you, Plo Koon. Not you. D tier. Alright guys, new profile pic. What do you think? Yeah, moving forward, I'll be using this on all my social media. I don't know why, I just relate to this guy. It's honestly really forehead. Fortunate that I found this. Sorry, I don't mean that. It's more of a 5-head to be fair. Also, don't make this guy a silhouette, that's really unfortunate looking. Me and Ki-Adi-Mundi share a lot of similarities, but he looks like penis, so C tier. Okay, I know all of you have Star Wars shrines in your houses, but you do not know who Yoffar is. Stop lying, you cannot know this. I watched Star Wars Rebels and even I don't freaking recognize this freak. He's so unremarkable, he ended up being scrapped from the game. He's in the files, but he never made it through. Somehow he looks the most bird-like than any dang bird in this franchise, despite him originally looking like this. It's a cool design though, definitely an improvement. C tier. Just for the sake of ranking everything, we have to include these generic security officer enemies. There's a red and yellow variant that may make me hungry for ketchup and mustard, but makes me oh so happy to ruthlessly decimate in-game. Obviously these go in D tier. Oh boy, here we go. You just had to be different, didn't you? We just had to have 3 security officers. I am gonna scream, I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna piss my pants maybe, but most importantly I'm gonna put the sorry excuse down in D tier. Honestly, these spies are a pretty cute enemy in the Rebels levels, especially alongside these Rhodians. This is the first time I feel bad for killing them. Gonna do it anyways, not like I'm not gonna take the chance to pop some birds, am I right? You're not gonna not kill birds if you get the opportunity, right? This is a fun enemy type though. How about B tier? Sigh. Poor Qui-Gon Jinn. I finally understand why you have Gon in your name now. It's rare to see an Angry Bird canonically die, but Qui-Gon gets that honor. I also like how he looks quite a bit. It's kinda based on Matilda, but really he's super unique. I like how a lot of the characters in Star Wars 2 look, and he is no exception. As for his power, he is the first bird you get, so obviously he takes the spot of Luke. While the power is nothing special, I love him a lot. He can go in B too. Not a lot of characters are going to get separated like young Anakin here. I originally planned to just do every version of Anakin in one slot, but his power is so different that it would be weird to do that. Pod racing is the classic meme tied to young Anakin, so of course he gets to do it in this game. It's really awesome power, letting you go wherever you want on a level as long as there's nothing in the way. Anakin also gets dragged through whatever crap he can bypass, it's awesome. Young Anakin has a fun power, I like it. A tier. Wow, you're so edgy, Anakin. You're so cool and hot and deep and cool, and I just love you, Anakin. If that's you, if you say that, unsubscribe. Just kidding, don't unsub. Oh my god, please, I didn't mean it. I love you. All grown-up Anakin is pretty boring. He just reverts back to a lightsaber swinging loser. So instead, I thought we'd take the spot to talk about telepods. I had the Anakin telepod, as well as a ton more, as you can see. I honestly forgot how many of these I had. It's pretty insane, actually. The birds are pretty cool, especially that Ewok. But man, the pigs are so much better. I am really looking forward to ranking the Star Wars pigs, because ones like Jabba and Grievous are just incredible. Did you guys have telepods? And if you did, which ones? If you had Anakin like me, you'll know he's pretty freaking boring. D tier. Also, yes, I know he has a third form and it's Darth Vader. I know! But he just uses the Force. It's just Darth Vader's power. I'll talk about it when I do him, okay? Okay, good. I thought Leia was hot. They call her Peck Me Amidala, huh? I wish she'd peck me. Padme has a really strange power. It's basically the opposite of Leia's. She pushes objects with her beam rather than pulling them. I find the pull to be much more useful, but there are situations where this works. No matter how freaking hot and attractive and beautiful and attractive she is, I can't go higher than a B tier. Bald, 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 bald. Sorry, I mean bald. I mean, Mace Windu is already one of my favorite Star Wars characters. Maybe it's because he has a purple lightsaber, you know, just maybe. But regardless, he also has one of the best and overpowered moves in the whole game. This crazy boomerang lightsaber destroys everything in its path and is helpful in almost any scenario. It's also just super fun to use. I love bald and I love Mace Windu. S tier.
What? Those Empire bastards stole our eggs? Our eggs?
I absolutely refuse to do a stupid Yoda voice. But Misa loved Jar Jar Binks! Misa not only loves his design, but Misa really loves his power. There are so many fun and crazy tricks he can pull off with his grappling hook tongue that Misa just can't get enough of. Watch this! Check this crazy shisha out. Misa already loved Gungans, so obviously Misa loved Jar Jar Binks. Excuse me! Move out of the way, Mace! S Tierza needs to save the room for Jar Jar Binks. As always, the blues had no change to their power. However, they are way stronger than before and can even break through wood pretty well. They're also massive compared to normal blues, which really makes them be effective here. They show up in so few levels of this game. I guess Anakin killed all the freaking younglings before he could use them in battle. Still, they're one of the better versions of the blues, so they go in B. They've clearly learned their lesson from Chuck being Lando because Captain Panaka is a completely unique bird. Funny enough, he shoots a triple shot just like Lando. His design is fine and his power is fine, so yeah, pretty easy B tier right there. Does anyone else irrationally love Kit Fisto? Like, I've always thought he was cool despite knowing very little about him. I want you to Kit Fisto me! Actually, no, I really don't. Why did I say that? Well, not only is he one of the coolest looking birds in the game, but he's just an upgraded Yoda. He destroys everything he touches, kind of like Willow from Angry Birds Stella. Kit Fisto also barely shows up in any levels, which sucks, but it's reasonable considering he's just too good. I love you, buddy. S tier. There's a few bonus characters that you can only get in the shop or at telepods. Wicket the Ewok somehow got a spot, and I'm so proud of him for it. He's got the blues power, but there's 9 of him instead of 3. They're all pretty weak, but you can really get a huge spread on big levels that can come in handy. Plus their design is surprisingly really cute. I like them a lot. A tier. Again, I debated including Carbonite Han Solo. It isn't a different bird, but he has a completely unique power. Plus he got his own telepod, so come on, it's only fair. He's stolen Iceberg's gimmick. How dare you! Is this why Icebird isn't here anymore? That's it. I'll kill you! I'll freaking kill you! He's nearly useless in this game, since you don't get to follow him up with the blues ever. He also never goes away, which means he could slide right where you want him to, or just immediately become useless. You tried, but you made the most pointless power-up ever. And you mess with Icebird, D tier. Well, we're at the last leg of the list for today. The final update Star Wars 2 ever got was a Star Wars Rebels update. Not Clone Wars, not Rogue One, just the hit Disney XD show Rebels. Mostly because it was coming out at the right time. And I did watch Rebels as a kid. I don't remember it very well, but I did watch it. Somehow they decided to add 6 birds in this update, which is pretty huge considering the roster size. Not to mention that 3 of them were only available in the shop, which is really dumb and annoying. Regardless, the first bird is the main character Ezra. Never cared for him in the show, and I don't like him here either. They each got some crazy new powers, and Ezra gets his laser that reflects off of any metal it touches forever. It's an interesting idea for sure, but it's not as useful as it sounds. C tier. Based on their personalities in the show, I feel like Kanan is more of a Red, and Ezra is more of a Chuck. But Kanan's move is to go faster than the speed of sound. It's a pretty insane power to have, like check out this boss level I can wipe out in one hit. It's easy to mess up, but can do some crazy damage otherwise. I don't really like how he looks though, so he's going in A. Definitely the coolest looking Rebels character is Zeb. Look at that guy, he's like a mix between Bomb, Terrence, and Big the Cat. And his powers reflect that. He has the strength of Terrence and a shockwave close to Bomb's explosions. It's a fun move, but as always, it's not as great as it sounds. I like him a lot though, so he's gotta be A tier. Hera is definitely the strangest one. She just places a minigun and leaves. Any pigs in sight get shot, but if there's even one little block in the way, that pig is safe. She hardly gets you any points as a result, but can be effective now and again. Still, what has Angry Birds come to when you launch a bird just to place a turret and then leave? I don't really like it. C tier. Sabine is one of my favorite Rebel characters. She's a Mandalorian, and we all know these are just the coolest characters every time. Her power is a lot like Stella's in her game, where you bounce from platform to platform, but here you only select the first jump, and she places bombs on each spot. What's annoying is if you don't press anything, she doesn't even place a bomb. That's dumb and annoying. Still, she looks pretty cool, and her power is pretty fun to play around with. I'm saying B tier. Finally, last and certainly least, is Chopper. If they never added Chopper, no one would have cared, truthfully. Of course though, he has the craziest power of them all. Don't you love getting jetpacks in games to just go anywhere? Yep, Chopper is best at going places you didn't even think were possible to go to. Not one level in this game was made for him in mind, so good luck finding a use for him. It's super fun to play around with, don't get me wrong, but in terms of usefulness, he isn't doing a thing. Sadly, we will end the list with a C tier. Well, I certainly haven't changed my mind. It was fun when Angry Birds was Transformers, I like seeing all the Rio birds, but no crossover will ever be as awesome as Angry Birds Star Wars. Seeing our favorite birds and Jedi combined was so much fun, and getting so many cool new powers and abilities was a blast. I always enjoyed just seeing how cool these guys look personally, and there's some really great designs as well. Star Wars is one of the last classic slingshot games too, which is sad. I think those crazy new powers show just how balls to the walls they are going here, but that's also because Star Wars 2 was super character based. Unlocking characters was an event in this game, and using telepods to try out characters in different scenarios is really fun too. I can't lie, some of these guys really make me mad. Those C-3PO levels are a nightmare to me, but I'll never forget you, Jar Jar. Misa love you, Jar Jar Binks. Sorry, excuse me. I know you guys love F tier. This list is going to be huge, so in the future I might just use F tier through the whole video. Today I thought we'd just end by converting the list here. You can see I've dispersed the old stuff and the new Star Wars stuff a bit, with the worst of the worst down at the bottom. That's right, I'm looking at you, Mighty Basketball. Let me know if you want me to just always include F tier or add it at the end like I did today. Thanks so much for watching. Let's talk about my rankings and our favorite Star Wars birds on my Discord. My members have been multiplying lately. Man, you guys are getting busy. So let's name off all the Jedi Younglings we get to slaughter here at the end of the video. Yep, definitely gonna massacre Groth One Finger first, can't wait for that. And Cobalt Chrome E. Not even gonna put up a fight, I bet. Patrick Bayer-Jean? What is that, French? Oh, good riddance, am I right, people? Honomaki is a little intimidating, kinda mysterious. Might wanna take them out before they get to me. Jacob BL? I'm a Jacob BLO your brains out, buddy. Then Deca Knight 9000. Oh dang, you's a knight? I'll still slaughter you. Just like Cool Cat Lord. It's an honor to slay any lord, I always say. Yeah, there's gonna be a bright streak of blood when I'm done with you, and we get to end on a nice and peaceful friend. I love killing peaceful innocent friends, who doesn't? And while I was making this video, 2 more Jedi Younglings were born. So let's welcome Manitos and MD Switchy into the world before we promptly remove them from this world, if you know what I mean. If you want to maybe get slaughtered like these Younglings in the future, then please consider becoming a member. I know a lot of you were hoping to see me rank the pigs first, but guess what? Now that we've got this out of the way, the pigs get to be next. I can't wait, we get to oink, we get to roll around in the mud. Man, this is going to be awesome. When that video comes out, I want to see everyone in the comments saying, man, I love rolling around in the mud and oinking, and I can't wait to go back to rolling around in the mud and oinking. And then leaving like 30 separate comments that just say oink, or I'm a big pig, oink, 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 or I'm a big stinky pig and I love to oink, or I'm a big fat stinky ugly fat pig and I just want to oink, you know? Yeah, you guys get it. Anyways, I can't wait for that. There's a red and yellow variant that they... There's a red and yellow variant that may make me hungry for ketchup and mustard, but makes me oh so happy to ruthlessly... Oh my god. There's a red and yellow variant that may make me hungry for ketchup and mustard, but makes me oh so happy to ruthlessly decimate and the... There's a red and yellow variant that may... There's a red and yellow variant that may make me want... There's a red and yellow variant that may make me hungry for ketchup and mustard, but makes me oh so happy to ruthlessly decimate... Oh my god. Ruthlessly decimate. Ruthlessly decimate. Ruthlessly decimate. There's a red and yellow variant that make... There's a red and yellow variant that may make me hungry for ketchup and mustard, but makes me oh so happy to ruthlessly decimate in game. Obviously these go in D tier. Yes! Freak you, I God!